Okay, for round two, or at the end of round one, actually, what we do is we add 2 to the threat, because that's the threat level of the scenario, according to the book. We add 1 to the dial. I like to do that when I'm doing this, so I don't forget. As a solo player controlling both sides, it's pretty easy to forget things, so take a little bit of shortcut from time to time, but so anyway, I'm adding the dial, so it's now the second round coming up. We unexhaust each of these things, flip over the activation tokens. Okay, so we're good there. So now the Imperial player has a decision to spend that 2 threat on something or not. So they can't redeploy the Jet Trooper because, as you see, it has 4 for the deployment cost, so that's out of bounds. They can, what's it called, reinforce the Stormtroopers because they lost one of their member, and so now that would cost 2. So that's an option. But I think I'm going to skip that option, and here's part of the reason why, strategically speaking, again, is that I really like this attachment, but if I reinforce this, you can't just attach something because you want to attach it. You only attach it when they deploy. So when I deploy next turn, these Jet Troopers, because next turn then I'll have 4 threat, then I'll deploy the Jet Troopers, I'll have the experimental arms attachment, and then they'll be good. So it's like saving a little bit. There's obviously no right answer, at least I hope there's no right answer. It's just a strategy issue. So okay, so next turn, so that was their decision. No experimental arms this turn. So we've got a choice on who to attack. Let's see, I'm trying to see if Finn can double blast, but no, if he shoots this one and blast on one, then then this will die, and then you can't do another blast. She can attack. She can't attack him. She doesn't have line of sight to him because of this blocking terrain. There's a solid red line there. Just trying to maximize the damage here. I also want to maximize movement, how much we move. What if Onar spends 2 strain? Like I mentioned before, he doesn't use strain for magnets. Spend 2 strain to go here, attack, but then we're attacking him and he has the good defense. I don't want to do that. Maybe she can attack, move him. That's what she can do. And then attack him. Can she move him with her Mandalorian whip ability? No, because it needs line of sight. Not unless no, she doesn't have line of sight no matter what. Not an easy decision, but Shyla's going to go. She's going to attack this undamaged Stormtrooper, and she's going to use her Duelist Blades ability, which does the red die instead of the yellow. And that works. So attacking that Stormtrooper, we definitely want to attack the Stormtroopers because they're going to get 2 attacks if we don't. So attacking the Stormtrooper, that's not a good roll because the red die, that 1 is really bad. So that's 3 versus 2, so that's only 1 damage. So I guess she's just going to attack him again. And that's unfortunate. If she does kill that guy, she gets a benefit of respite. So I'll take what we can get. So we're going to do so it's yellow and green because she can't use that that special Duelist Blades ability twice. She can't do that twice in an activation. I believe that's a ruling for special activations like this. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm going to go with that. So just attack again. But this time with the regular dice for that. That doesn't look too good. No, it's not too good. So we've got 1 damage plus 3 surges. How can she use 3 surges? She can use 2 surges for a +1 and a pierce 1. So that's 2 damage, pierce 1, that makes this 1 armor, so that's, or 1 block. So he takes 1 damage, but that doesn't kill him, and that's very unfortunate. She has a 3rd surge she can use, so she's going to use that to recover a strain, but she doesn't have a strain. So that's good for her. She can recover actually damage because of that. But that is the end of her turn, and that's it. So now they go. So they're going to want to get out of dodge, but they still want to protect this guy. Maybe he should go. Maybe he should get out of dodge. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're still going to be able to attack him. I think I'm just going to have the stormtroopers attack Shyla, and that's it. They're not even going to move. They're going to kind of protect that guy. They know they're going to die anyway. They might as well clog up this area, and they know they're going to be moved. I mean, if they were to move back here, then they would just move and kill him. So let's do that. So we've got, oh, they're not next to each other. So he's going to move 1, 2. So he's next to his friendly trooper there. And and then let's see, she gets a black die, and so he's going to attack her, attack Shyla. Ooh, look at that block. So he doesn't want to re-roll anything. That's the best roll that they can get. So 1, 2, 3, 4 minus 3 is 1 damage to her. He's going to spend his other 2 movement points to go back to where he was. Again, kind of protecting. No, I don't want to go here because then Diala can get a free attack on him. So yeah, this is good. It's a good place. Okay. Oh, but then where is this going to go to get that benefit? 1, 2, 3, but then can't get back. So let's have him end up. He can't end up there because that's difficult terrain. Let's have him. Let's go ahead and have him end up here. So again, I want to be next to him as much as possible. So now this one's turn is going to go 1, 2, 3 because of the difficult terrain. And then it's going to shoot Shyla. He's next to his friends there. So this is much better for the stormtroopers. So it's 4 damage minus 1. They're not going to reroll at best. So that's 3 damage. So let's get a 5. Get rid of 2 singles here. And that's it. So Shyla's at 7 damage out of 12 health. But it's not too bad because these guys are almost dead. So what happens if she attacks this one and then attacks that one? The answer is very good for her, but then she doesn't move. So what other options are there? Onar can 1, 2, they're kind of blocking here. We really need to clear some of this rabble out. What if he shoots and does a, here we go. Okay, if he shoots this one, I know we don't want to attack that one because they get the good defense, but he can do a blast, which gets them both. Let's take a chance. So here's what I mean by a chance. When the Imperial officer is defending, he rolls this die. He might get that, which means no damage, and you can't even blast if there's no damage. But that's just 1 out of 6. But he gets to re-roll that if he wants to. So he gets that, and he says, oh no, I'm going to re-roll that because he's next to these. So he would re-roll it, and he can re-roll to get that. So it's a chance, but he gets 2 shots at it. The real benefit here is that if we do any damage on this, we can blast and do 1 damage to each of those, and all they need is 1 damage. So he's trying to kill 2 people, even though he's attacking this one. He's really trying to get rid of them. He might get rid of this one too. So let's take a chance. He gets 2 shots at it because he gets 2 attacks. So if he needs them, so it's a green and a blue against that white die, the dreaded white die, and then also the Imperial officer hasn't gone, so he would prevent him that turn if he's successful here. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3 damage. The surge is wiped out by the evade. 1 of the damage by block. So that would be 2 damage, which would kill him, and the blast, which would kill them. So the Imperial officer is going to say, no, 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 no way. So he's going to try to re-roll. Even though he had a good roll, there's only 1 roll that's going to save him. Nope, same roll, so he's dead. Double check, 3 damage. Surge is evaded, so -1 is 2 damage, so that kills him. Because he already already had one on him from an earlier blast. Good thing we did that. So then he's going to go ahead and activate his Havoc shot, which does 1 damage to each of these because they were next to the target of the attack that took some damage. These others are 2 away, 2 or 3 away, so they're not going to take any damage from it. So that worked out perfectly. So as the Imperial player, they did a very bad job strategically. They should not have set themselves up for such a blast. Clearly, they weren't thinking very clearly. So it was just no, it's the Imperial player. They just didn't do it. Didn't do their job. So I think there's going to be a tongue lashing back at Imperial Command. So okay, they're out of there. So he still has his movement. Now it's kind of clear sailing here. He's got a movement of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get the show on the road. Lone Wolf, at the end of your activation, if there are no friendly figures adjacent to you, recover 1 strain. This is just perfect for the rebels. Like, nothing can go wrong. So, oh, you know what? We should probably pick up this crate then. So, anyway, that's Finn's turn. Now we can go with Diala. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's fine. Let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. First action, then 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's Diala. Then we've got Onar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or should we let her pick that up? Let her pick that up. So he moved here last turn. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. This hazardous terrain is going to go in. The end of round 2, we need to do the status phase, so that advances the threat dial by 2, so it's up to 4 now. The round dial is up to 3. We do the activation tokens. Okay, so now the Imperial has a decision as to what they want to deploy with the 4th threat. They don't have to, they can save it up, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. And we have choices as to where on the map it goes. The scenario gives you choices, so we're going to choose. We have 2 choices. It could be here that they go, or here, or 1 and 1. Here sounds reasonable. I mean, they're there and then they can attack, but I don't like that because then the rebels will get to attack and just kill them. And that's the end of that. So I'm going to choose over here. And that way, if the rebels want to attack them first, they're going to kind of have to go backwards to attack them. So yeah, that works well. And then, so let's see, we get the jet troopers back, or it's new jet troopers, however you want to look at it, and they get the attachment. And that's that. So first is someone on the rebels. So they have a choice of, a lot of choices here actually. So they want to get rid of this barrier. That's kind of a primary part of the mission. They also want to pick this up. That's kind of greedy. So Shyla can, let's see, she can use her ability to attack one of them. Mandalorian Whip to pull one of them. But I don't know that I really like that. Could just start bashing on this, let them move in, get an attack. So Shyla is going to, she's at 7 damage. She's going to stay back and try to deal with these troopers. So what's best for her to, and let the rest do the thing. If she gets wounded, not the best, but you know, that's life. So I'm going to have her move. No, you know, she doesn't need to move. She's going to go ahead and use the Mandalorian Whip ability. So it costs 1 strain, and it says to choose a small hostile figure within 3 spaces in line of sight. Push that figure up to 3 spaces, so 1, 2, no, 2 right here. So that's good. And then perform a melee attack. So that melee attack is the green and yellow. So this is her first action. She'll get a second action, or she can move or rest maybe. But we'll see how this goes. So we've got an attack. Oh, that's a good attack. So it's 1, 2, 3 plus a surge, which makes it 4 minus 1 kills it. That was pretty clutch. So that was that. So now for her second activity, she's gonna rest. She's got a movement of 5, so if she gets healed, she can, catch up to the group. She's obviously not going to deal with that. I don't think there's actually a way for me to get her in range to be able to attack that anyway. So I guess technically there is, but it's using a lot of strain. Do the Mandalorian? Oh, you can't do the Mandalorian whip again because it's a special action. You can only do that once per activation. So anyway, she's going to rest, which 4 endurance gets rid of 4. So instead of 7 and 1, she's going to have 4 damage on her. Okay, so that's fine. Keep her out of wound range. Okay, so next is the Jet Trooper, definitely attacking Shyla. So where do we want to go? 1, 2, attack. We don't even really need to do that, but that gives an extra movement point. Then 3, 4. Don't really want to be that close to them to give them an attack, so maybe I'll go back here. So let's just go 1. He can go there because he's got mobile, because he's flying over this, whatever that garbage is. So shooting 3 range is plenty for his, or is the minimum that he's going to get on the dice rolls. So attacking Shyla, he's got that attachment. We'll use that if we need to. Okay, that's a pretty bad roll. The attachment doesn't give any help again. So basically the attachment can give you an extra surge if you want it, and you take a point of damage. But we have all the surges we could use on this roll, and they have on the previous rolls if they even had a previous roll. I don't think they got to roll on the first round. So anyway, so it's 1 damage, 2 damage. Use that surge for damage. -1 is so just 1 damage. So that gets her back up to 5 from 4. So he's still got 3 movement point left. 1, 2. You know what? Let's go right here. 2, 3. They can swoop in later. And that keeps them out of line of sight and out of stuff for them. Next turn she'll be able to kill. I don't think it really matters, actually. Next turn they can all move. You know what? It does matter, because they can all just move and then be out of the range. So let's go. So 1, so 2, 3, 4. Let's go there. So it's not an easy decision, but I don't think it really matters. Okay, so that was the Jet Trooper. So now they're going to decide whether to backtrack and hit that guy or go for the barrier. Let's go for the barrier. We're already on turn 3 and round 3, and let's get going. So Onar is going to. He can do like a double bash on it, or they can move and get 1 hit on it. Let's do a move and then get 1 hit. So Diala's going to go 1, 2, 3, but then she's wasting some of her movement. Oh, she can't do 1, 2, 3 because that's a hazardous or difficult terrain. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4. Start that over. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's going to hit the barrier. So the barrier has 4 health and 1 defense. So they don't roll a die, but they get 1 block anyway. So this is Diala. Her precise strike doesn't do anything in this case, so it's going to be a green and a yellow. So she's just hoping to do a couple points damage on it, maybe. So 1, 2, the surge is the 3rd point, so that makes it 3 minus the 1 block, so 2 damage on the barrier. So that was kind of what she was looking for. She got to move forward, and then, oh, yeah, she doesn't have the respite or anything like that. Okay, so that's her turn. They've already taken their turn. So now it is either Fen or Onar. Let's go with Fen. His attack will be at least range 3. So if he goes 1, 2 by using strain, then he'll get 2 attacks or an attack and then a movement. It's a tough choice. So let's do it, just in case. So we're going to do 2 strain, the maximum you can do to move 2 on this turn. Then he still has 2 activations. So he's going to shoot the barrier. He now has line of sight. And actually, why doesn't he go here? It's kind of the same. It's pretty much the same. So we're going to do that. Green and blue. And they have 1 defense, so we only need 2 damage to knock it out. So 1, 2, plus 1 for the surge, so that's 3 minus the 1 block, so that destroys the barrier. And as the Imperial player, I'm solo, so I'm controlling both, but the Imperial player knows that, oh, something happens now. So what happens is actually there is a ship, a small ship, a skiff, that comes by and zooms into the area. And it actually replaces this little tile. So we'll get that going. And a couple of Weequay pirates working for Jabba the Hutt are landed there, and they state in no uncertain terms that this is Jabba the Hutt territory here on Tatooine, and you are not welcome here. So I'm going to get the Weequay pirate card. And with the destruction of that barrier, we get a probe droid and an Imperial officer. This is all according to the book, by the way, so strategic decisions or anything like that. So I'm going to get an Imperial officer and a probe droid. So the Imperial officer is placed first, I believe. I'm going to double check this. Deploy the reserved Imperial officer and the droid. So the Imperial officer goes first in the yellow point. The droid can go anywhere. We're going to choose there because it's kind of just blocking. It doesn't matter too much. Shouldn't matter too much, but kind of blocking access to him. So that's that. And so these Weequay pirates say you're not welcome here, and they're going to start firing. They're going to be attacking, but they're attacking the Imperials. They do not like the Imperials being on Jabba the Hutt's land in his territory. So they are actually allies of the rebels. So the rebels can control them and do whatever needs to be done with them. So okay, so we're going to finish up Fenn's turn. So does he want to move forward? If he does, he'll be attacked by one of them. But what else is he going to do? We need to keep this thing going forward. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a good place for him. And then at the end, Lone Wolf, at the end of your activation, if there are no friendly figures adjacent, recover 1 strain. So he's recovering 1 strain. He's kind of exposed out there, but there's only 2 of them, and that happens. So the Imperials have a choice of the probe droid or the Imperial officer. 1, 2, 3. So they're certainly both going to try to attack him. It's an easy target. So let's just go ahead and shoot and decide where the probe droid's going to go afterwards. So yeah, the probe droid's going to go first, and Fenn gets a black die on defense. Probe droid gets 2 yellows and a blue, so that's kind of a lot. Let's see what happens. And Fenn's defense was not very good this time. It's an evade, which cancels out this surge, so it's 3 damage on Fenn. Oops, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so where does that probe droid want to go? They can kind of get out of dodge. Moving here, that keeps them away from these guys who are going to activate. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't really hit him. 4 can't really hit him. I think that's good. Oh, but then that leaves him all alone. He doesn't like to be alone because he gets that benefit. Let's go ahead and just move right here. But then they're both going to attack him. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they're both going to attack the droid. You know what, Imperial officer, you are on your own. So that droid's going over here. The droid with feelings, selfishness. So the droid has taken his turn, only has 3 movement. So now the rebels can go, they can activate the weak way pirates if they want to try to kill that guy, and that's what they're going to do. So the weak way are really good attackers. They get 4 speed, so 1, 2, 3, and then we'll decide upon the 4th movement. So they're attacking because 3 is the accuracy, minimum accuracy they get with these dice. 1 and 1 for the green, and then they have +1 accuracy on their card. So all alone, the Imperial officer is saying hello. It's attacking the Imperial officer. So that'll do 1, 2. The surge is negated. Oh, but weak way pirates have, while attacking, they have Raider ability. While attacking, you may choose one die. The player that rolled that die must re-roll that die. So let's re-roll this one and get a better result here. We could re-roll the white one because that's a good result, but it might get the X. Oh, much better. Okay, well, so that's 4 against 1. That would kill him, so he's going to... Oh, he can't re-roll. That's it. He doesn't have any re-roll. So he is dead, taking 3 damage. Let's get rid of his card. He doesn't even get to activate this turn. So that was... we get a 4th movement point, so that'll go here. So this other weak way pirate is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's nobody to attack. They could go backwards, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then shoot, but that's kind of too long of a distance, so to be reliably to hit. So okay, so we're good with that, and now it's still the rebels' turn because there are no more Imperials who haven't gone yet. I forgot to turn over Fenn's activation. Diala bashed. Shyla did this. So okay, so it's Onar. What can he do? 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't really get him able to do much. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then use 1 strain to move here. So that's a strain. And now he has line of sight to the droid and he can shoot him. He's going to activate this bodyguard rifle's ability, which is when you declare an attack with this weapon, you may apply -1 damage and +2 accuracy to the attack results. Because basically you need to do that in order to hit him. I wonder if I should have been doing that all along. You know, I'm reading that now, and I think I've been doing it wrong. So, well, just move forward, because in order to hit somebody with a ranged weapon, you need the dice roll to be the number of how far it is. And I assumed you get a minimum of 1, but you don't get a minimum of 1. So he should have been subtracting 1 damage all along. So I'll keep that in mind. I've been playing this for quite a while, and that's just came up. I don't know why. Okay, so he is going to attack, so it's a red and a green. He'll subtract 1 damage from it. The droid gets a black die for defense. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, -1. So that's 2 damage against 2 blocks, so no damage. But he does have a surge that he's going to recover his one strain from. So that's the end of his turn. I think that's everyone's turn. So that's the end of, the weak way pirates. So that's the end of round 3.